Hi, welcome to tutorial 31 for CSCI 130 Introduction to Programming here at the University of Wisconsin Parkside. For this session, what we want to do is to just have additional practice with repetition statements. So we already have some experience using them, and we just want to review some basic concepts. So when we're repeating, we also use the name that we're looping. We're in a loop, so we call those like we're executing a statement more than once, and every time that we have that execution, we call that an iteration. So we're iterating, and we can do that 0 times, or we can do that multiple times. It depends what is it that we want for the program, or the conditions that we're going to be checking, variables, or for whatever is what we want to be executed. So just to summarize, we have seen 5 type of repetition statements: the do while loop, the do until loop, the do loop while, the do loop until, and the last that we did is the for next. You can go back and check the PowerPoints or the tutorials to see examples about those. So now for this session, I'm asking you to develop an application. So our application that we are implementing for this session and you are supposed to post requires that somehow we're going to have 20 integers, and we need to write an application that is going to determine which one of those is the largest. Which one is the maximum, the greatest of the numbers. So we're not going to have 20 variables. We're not going to store the numbers in 20 different variables and then checking with multiple if statements. So what we're gonna have to do is we gonna read a number at a time, and then at that moment when we read the number, the first number that is given, at that moment that's my max, that's my largest, because I don't know the other 19 numbers yet. When I go and check the second number, then I'm gonna make a decision: is the second number largest than the first one? If it is, now that's my max. So I'm gonna keep doing that until I reach number 20. So number 3, I do the same: is this greater than whatever is the one that I have in now as the max? So I'm gonna keep track of the greatest number or the largest that I'm getting from the user at that moment. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna implement it. So you need to use a repetition statement. So you got actually 5 options to solve this problem. I'm gonna give you 2 examples, 2 ways of solving this. So what I'm gonna do first is design an application in Visual Basic for this problem. So I have this here already. So in my form, I'm gonna change the text for the title, and I'm gonna say max of 20 numbers. I'm gonna call it like that. Okay, so now the way that I'm gonna have the numbers, I'm gonna use a list box this time. So I'm gonna make list box here, and I'm gonna put my 20 numbers. So we need to make it big enough to hold 20 numbers. So the way that I'm gonna provide my 20 numbers for this example, because what I want to do is just practice with the for loop. We select the list box, and we're gonna go where it says items. You see that says collection. We're gonna click on there, and then we're gonna type. For now, I'm gonna type just 1, 2, 3, 4 and to 20, just to see if I had enough room. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, then I'm gonna say okay. Now you see that I got enough space for 20 numbers. So let's say that for now those are my numbers. So I'm gonna move this like this. So this is the structure that I'm gonna use to have numbers. I'm gonna change the numbers later. I just need to see how they look. Then I'm gonna have a button that I'm gonna use to get the max. So we're gonna call that get max. Well, let's say get max. Okay, and then we gonna have a label for the answer. So let's actually have a label that says here some instructions here where it says label. This application determines the maximum of the numbers listed, or the numbers in the list box. Okay, so now let's change where it says auto size. Let's change that to false. Okay, something like this. So now that looks okay. And then let's have here the answer. Let's put two more labels. So one label, well, just one label, I think, for the answer. So let's go and change where it says auto size. Right here. So change that to false. And border style, let's put the fixed single. And the text, change where it says label to nothing. There. So now I got something that's my interface. I'm gonna press F5 just to check how it looks. Okay, so I got the numbers and I got that. Okay, so I will stop the tutorial here, and then I'm gonna have two additional tutorials. So here, we haven't finished. I mean, we haven't done any programming yet. So what I'm gonna do on the next tutorial is actually use one of the repetition statements to determine which one of these is the maximum, and I'm gonna change these numbers too. And then on the other tutorial, I'm gonna implement it with another repetition statement. So you need to select which one do you want. You don't need to make two submissions. I mean, I'm just gonna provide you two examples. So I continue in the next tutorial using this interface.